This week has just been one of those weeks where I feel meh. And that is exactly why I'm going to be taking you through one of those weeks when you feel a bit down, a little bit lost, a bit anxious, and tell you all the things that I do to switch up my mindset and just feel a bit more positive. So the first thing I did this Friday was book in for some true TLC in the form of some physio, because I always feel like by looking after your body it has a direct impact on your mind. This is something I've been proactive with, because if I can't train, it hits me hard mentally too. At the moment I've been seeing Kat, who I'll also link her page below. She's an absolute sicko, in a good way by the way, and always leaves me feeling in a better place, because I've been having some issues with my calves and stuff, which then impacts my running. Been doing quite a lot of work on my right leg to try and get this into a good place. 9 AM. The next thing I did after this was training. It's always a non-negotiable for me. It's like putting myself through the washer in the morning and coming out the other side just ready to sausage roll. I know sometimes it's tough to go for sessions when you don't feel too good, but if you ask yourself, have you ever gone for a workout and come out the other side saying, I wish I hadn't done that? I'd imagine the answer will probably be not. Now, RDLs have been a big feature of the week for me in training recently, and they just feel saucy at the moment. So, quick tips and cues on this one. Head down, arse out, don't overshoot the lowering phase. We aren't prepping for a first porno. We just need to get a nice big stretch through the hamstring and then a big squeeze up through the glute at the top of the movement. This was my top working sets. I think I worked up to about 160 kilos on this, and I haven't been doing normal deadlifts at the moment because I tend to get injured from them, whereas RDLs can lighten the load a little bit and get a better feeling through them as well. After that, I tend to just do some isolation work. So this is in the form of D-handle pull-ups this time. Try these if you find normal pull-ups hurt your shoulders or your elbows, because sometimes it can put you into like an unnatural position. So when there's some shooting for 2 times failure is all that we're going for here. Next, a rowing movement, or some kind of rowing movement for 2 sets. 1 of 8 to 10 reps, and then 1 of 12 to 14 reps. Superset with the most disgusting faces that you have never seen before in your entire existence of this planet Earth. Then we are moving on to some lateral delts with the cuffs, which in my opinion are way better than dumbbells. Just takes a little bit longer to set up. I don't do a lot of pressing currently, overhead pressing, but I've been doing a lot of annihilating the lateral head to the delt, just so I can pretty much look like a human box kind of thing. And then a superset this with lateral raises. This is more to supplement my running though and keep a tight core more than anything. I'll shoot for some full raises first and then go into half reps to start to fail. And again, I'm going for 4 sets of this in total. Last, I'll just polish off with another lateral raise variant. So 6 sets of lateral raises in total, all together with machine raises. Feels sensational. Then here is me in the changing rooms, just showing you what I'm currently looking like, which I would say potentially the best I've ever looked, with the most relaxed I've ever been with training and diet, to be honest. Hitting 5 weight sessions per week, 2 runs, and then around 2,600 to 3,000 calories on weekdays, and then a bit more flexible on the Saturday and Sunday. Oh yeah, then here's me just with the most awkward moves you've never seen before, followed by me trying to just blend it when someone walked into the changing rooms. And just like that is the session done, the session over. So this morning, went in for physio around, got some work done this morning. So this morning was basically just like I'm being proactive evening, because what we're essentially looking to do at the moment is like my training volume is quite high. I'm doing 2 or 3 runs a week. I'm training, resistance training 5 times a week. Like you just seen the session there, everything's pretty much tempo work. So I'm doing slow eccentric, not like getting an ego lifting in. And it means that I'm not getting injured. So yeah, it was a good session basically. Now we're gonna head home. We're gonna make the daily oat bowl. It's an absolute staple. Never changes. And plus, like, I hit 30 the other week. I need to look after myself. I need to be careful. I need to prolong all this. So that's the plan. And belong. Just made that up. No idea what it means. So we were back from the gymnasium. It was funny, on the way home. Ran out of oats, one sec. And we are back. I am one of those stubborn motherfuckers who, like, when I want something to eat, I want to have that to eat. We're on a daily oat bowl grind. No, I call it grind, it's not a fucking grind, I'm just making a bowl of oats. The other thing that was interesting that happened was when I was on the way back from the gym, in the car park, some guy came over to me and was like, oh, car's sick, like I love it. And the first thing that I thought to say was, yeah, but it's dirty. Like, why do we always do that as people? We downplay things, like, actually been like, yeah, it's actually a fucking sick car. Like, I love it. But I don't know whether it's a negativity bias, I don't know whether it's self-sabotage. We always like play down things or play down our own successes. And I was talking about this in a podcast. Where's my fucking way? Whey protein, my protein, shop link in description. My coach Benji, 37% off, you're welcome. I was mentioning this in a podcast about, unfortunately, a lot of people become accustomed to just feeling sad and not being happy. And we often, when we feel happy, then self-sabotage, then we feel like we have control of situations again. Like we have negative self-talk because then it stops us from being happy and then being vulnerable, because when you're vulnerable, you don't know what's gonna happen next. Like good shit can happen, you can achieve stuff. And then that self-sabotage and being unhappy then gives us back control because we know what's gonna happen then. Like we're gonna continue to be sad. And unfortunately, some people go through life that way. And I think we all still have tendencies to do it, because I do as well. That's why I always live by that thing of like, try not to be a complete dick to yourself. I think sometimes even, I know that's a very simple way to look at it, but I think sometimes having that term reinforced to you makes you think a little bit, doesn't it? Also, there's that age-old saying as well, isn't that you should treat your neighbour like you treat thyself, I think it is. But I think it should be the other way around. Imagine if you actually treated other people like you treat yourself. You literally have no friends whatsoever. Never do this with your running shoes, by the way. Never just like slide them off and then don't lace them up and just be a lazy toad like me. But me and a friend, because they're our friends, Ash, are off to play squash. I probably haven't played squash since I was like forever. So the one thing I'm trying to do this week is, because we've obviously had a really stressful week over the last couple with the app launch, getting everything sorted, fixing bugs and stuff, which we're still working on for anyone who's on the app at the moment. Like, we're working around the clock to get that done, which is what I've been doing for the past couple of hours. But since Lucy's away, I'm trying to do some things for me at the moment. Trying to do some different shit and look after myself. I've been saying how much I'm going to smash your squash. What are your thoughts?
I'd love to see it.
In the game, back in the game. Ah. Ah. Oh. To me, 12-4 to me.
Oh, stop it!
Right, that's it. I'm trying to take it seriously for now. I'll give Ash a head start just so he feels a bit better about himself. Alexa, play Michael Bublé Christmas music.
Shuffling Christmas songs by Michael Bublé on Amazon Music.
It's my favorite part of it all, when you and me.
Alexa, off. There's copyright claims. Copyright claims get ya. Put one of these lights on, shall I? Nope. Yeah. So, yesterday I went for a meal with one of my mates who I haven't seen for a while, and we were talking about things about like imposter syndrome and feeling like a bit of a fraud. I've spoken about imposter syndrome before, and I felt like this before, and I felt like it this week. I think it's ever since we finished the app launch, I'm almost on like a bit of a come down, and don't really know how to feel. Like, felt a bit anxious the last few mornings and stuff. And sometimes with imposter syndrome, you just kind of waiting for someone to run in or run into my house and say, okay Ben, your time's up now. Like, you've had your time. It's time to. Someone's gonna call you out. Someone knows you're here. Someone knows you're a fraud and ready to take you away. And that's how I feel sometimes. It's a weird feeling. So today I did some wholesome stuff. Some stuff which is like, what's what I'm looking for? Just wholesome. Like seeing some family today. Seen my little cousin before. Seen my mum and dad. Went and did a little bit of shopping. A little bit of, what's it called? Retail therapy. Something like that. And then I put the, what's it called? The reef. Put a reef on the door. And then I did some washing up. Absolute brownie points while Lucy's away. Oh, thank you. And I've been doing the floor. So all little things, like, again, I've talked about something called the happy bank, not the wank bank, the happy bank, of stuff that you can do at any time that you want, where you can just like put it in the back of your diary and go to it whenever you want. And it's like, it's one of those things that you can just be happy at any time when you do them. I'm not talking about holidays or talking about spending loads of money on things, just things that you can do immediately to feel happy. This has kind of been like my week of weirdness and some of my tips when you're having like those off weeks or you feel a bit weird or you feel a little bit like on your own almost. That everyone has them. It doesn't matter like where you are in life, what point you're up to or what you're doing. We are all still prone to them. We've got to do things to look after our mental health. So hopefully this video's been helpful. Also, I'm going to the Everton game tomorrow because one of my wonderful clients, Lou, who will probably be watching, has given me a season ticket, so thank you very much for that. Another very wholesome evening, although I'll probably get beat. I'm going with the old man, have a little beer, watch the Blues, come home. And that's the end of that video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, hopefully you liked it. If you did, hit the like button. If it's your first time visiting my channel, please subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. A bit of a Mary Poppins moment, that one, I actually quite enjoyed it though.
Corazón. Don't finna jump for this shit. Up top when I speak up.